Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of my Life, My Music show. I'm super excited. Our guest today, oh my word, I'm just so excited. We've got Dr. Toyin Popoola and Mrs. Olanike Popoola. You're welcome to the show, Sama. We are so glad to have you on the show. Thanks so much for creating time out of your busy schedule to come talk to us and encourage us. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
So we'll dive right into it. I'll start from Mrs. Popoola. Please, ma, can you just tell us a bit about your background and what upbringing was for you?
Thank you for inviting us. And like I said, I'm Mrs. Popoola, Mrs. Olanike Popoola. I'm a native of Ibadan City in Oyo State. And I'm from a nuclear family of 4 children.
Okay.
Yes. I had my primary, secondary, and tertiary education there in Ibadan.
But wow. Thank you so much, ma'am. To you, sir, just a bit about your background and what upbringing was like for you.
Okay, thank you. So, I'm from a large family of 4 boys and 4 girls.
Wow.
So, we're 8, and my parents were also indigenous of Oyo State from the same local government. By the grace of God, my dad was in the military, in the Nigerian Air Force. So we grew up in the barrack environment.
Wow.
Okay, that's my growing up. And thank God they were also believers and ministers. I mean, deeper person like ministry.
Oh.
Yeah, so I grew up from Children's Church.
Wow. So you were born in the church, sir?
And well, not in
Okay.
the church because they joined in the 70s.
Okay.
And then, but at least I remember in the early 80s, we joined. I was in the children, something like that.
Wow. So where did you meet mommy? Was it at Ibadan, a program? We just want to know how you met.
Okay. Yeah. So I studied in UI,
Okay.
University of Ibadan, and she was in the Ambrose Ali University.
Okay.
That they have a campus in Ibadan.
The current Lee City University.
Oh, Lee City.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are the satellite
Campus.
Campus
campus.
at that time. So, well, it's a long story, but I will just say that she was in that campus, and then after my first episode and second episode, I didn't want.
Okay.
Okay, we can go into that one later.
Later.
on.
Okay.
And so, when I was an archery coordinator, then I was doing I think I finished my master's years at that time. So I was an archery coordinator in one of the campuses, and it happened to be a campus close to their own.
Okay.
And of course, I've been seeing her before then, but that was the circumstance. I was an archery coordinator. She was in a final.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let me come to mommy. I know mommy will be able to tell us the story better. So, mommy, how did you meet daddy?
Well, like you said, the satellite campus
Okay.
was around that Jericho at that time.
Okay.
Okay, and he was in a campus very close to us. I think Forestry
Okay.
College or something. So, but what happened is that we usually have workers meeting together.
Oh.
So we have interaction, and he also comes to our campus sometimes to preach
Okay.
and all the stuff. And what should I say? I remember, as a sister in the sister hostel,
Okay.
maybe whenever he preaches, we all will go back, today's message, all those things. And I never knew that maybe eventually he's going to be my husband or whatever. We will just talk about it and we forget before.
So, ma, when did you know it was the one?
Okay. So it just happened that what happened? Okay, my leader just called me, all this marriage committee something, and around that place is
Okay.
that's the group, the marriage committee. So So I went, but before then, in my own group,
Okay.
there was a case that has been opened,
Okay.
which they said, okay, I should not open in another place, something like that. So eventually, when they called me, I have to tell them that they should
Refer to that
refer
place.
to. So that was how it started. That was when I was in my final year.
Okay.
And eventually, I didn't even get to know anything. That maybe it was the one at the back of the
Oh.
thing. But it was after I've graduated, I've gone home.
Oh.
So the marriage committee now called me in my own area and he said, okay, you'll be sending somebody,
Yeah.
And eventually, that day, I was in my district.
Okay.
And I just saw this brother coming to my district. I was like,
For
what's
administration or what?
what is he coming to do? So, but I knew that maybe he must be the person the marriage
spoke
committee
about.
wanted to send. Unfortunately, my district pastor that time was also a professor
Okay.
economics
Okay.
education, Professor Babalola.
Okay.
So he knew me
Okay.
and everything. So, that
Okay.
became an
Thank you so much, Ma. Let me come to that. The subject of relationship, knowing the will of God, people see it as one big and very difficult to crack nuts and all. So how did you know it was money? What was the journey like? Did you hear this is your wife? Oh,
You see, I like to be as practical as possible because I know that you can't get more spiritual than the Spirit of God.
So I need you to take that against. You can't get more
You
spiritual.
can't get more spiritual than the Spirit of God.
Wow.
Because the things that the Bible says He has given us all things freely to enjoy. If God has given us marriage to enjoy, then He will not make it complex and very difficult. And the truth is that the system of the church to support us in that process, a lot of people don't know the value that system brings. They only see maybe that some small weaknesses, human weaknesses, in implementing that system in certain instances. But if you look at that system, honestly, I will vote for it again and again and again because it helped me. If not for the marriage committee, I would have made 2 mistakes before I got to her. Let me just start the second, because our time will not have come to see all the details, but there was this person I was thinking, this is the person. I prayed, and honestly, I was sincere with myself because I felt I know what God is telling me about the future, and I don't want marriage to mess it up. So, I decided I was going to be prayerful. I mean, if you are a poppy person, people see you, a lot of people know you, but I did not want to take that, take advantage of that, in assessing sisters or something like that. Because you only deceive yourself. You know that you are deceiving yourself if you actually went, back on corners, and the devil is there waiting. Because he will keep reminding you, you know how you started, so that remains permanent. And so I thought I knew the will of God. I went to the marriage committee. The marriage committee said, okay, well, the person is not yet of age. You have to wait for her. I believe that believers shall not make it. So I waited. But just at the point when I thought it was time, she derailed from the fellowship. I refused to let go because my mind was fixed that this is the person. Until one retreat or one workers retreat or campus program, I can't even remember exactly which program, but it was at the campground. As I was praying, the Spirit of God just said, how long will you weep over Saul, seeing that I have rejected you? I found a man after my heart. That scripture, the context. It was God speaking to David about Saul and David. But do you know that immediately that scripture came, I got the message, and I got a release in my spirit to release this person. That was the only time I could now start praying to hear from God again about this matter. And as I was serving, I saw this sister, one of the sisters. Okay. Of course, I'm doing my own work.
Okay.
And after two failures in quotes,
Okay.
I was determined, look, this marriage thing, let me just focus on my career, let me focus on this. But you know, because I was going to get married, that issue could not be dumped aside. So again, I began to see this affection begin to grow again to this particular.
So I love that word, affection.
Affection, yeah,
Okay.
it's not something that, it's not that I slept and God said, this is the
Okay.
one. No. Because God has so wired us to like things. There are certain things in my chemistry that I look at somebody, I don't know what it is, but I just know that there is something different going on inside of me. It is not lost. It is not, at least there are other sisters around and all of
Why
that.
this person?
This person, and of course at that time I was ready for marriage. I had
Okay.
finished schooling.
Okay.
I was already working.
Okay.
So I was I working then? Yes, I was already working. Okay. Yeah, on part-time. Okay. So it was time and I was really praying.
Okay.
So when this thing came again, this person, well, eventually I just had to take the next step to go and talk to the associate coordinator, okay, in charge of that campus. Okay, sir, this is what is going on inside of me. And he said, okay, well, the process was to marriage committee. We went to committee and everything went. And the way the whole thing went, it was like things were getting too smooth. I remember I told Pastor, the associate coordinator, did that. Pastor, the way everything is just going smooth, like, oh, I'm not going on the wrong lane. I expect there should be some difficulty. He said, no, don't say like that. Don't think like that. Don't even expect, if God is in it, then it must be smooth. The Lord will make the way smooth. And so that was how, and I remember that when it was time to go and propose, and from when she said, I appeared that day in their district, and the district coordinator has, of course, he has been informed. And then I made the proposal right there around the church area.
Oh, in the church?
Yeah, it was their service. I went to attend that. I came from Lagos to attend their service. Okay. And I proposed to her, and then she told me to wait. And then that I think that was the eternity of my life. That point of wait for an answer.
I think we want moment to pick it up from there.
Yes.
From that point of waiting. Okay, sir. So let's come to mommy. The waiting period before you told him yes. What was it like?
Well, that particular day when he came and I saw him actually in our church.
Yes.
We usually have 2 services. We have English in the morning, afterwards the Yoruba will come. And at that time I usually help the Yoruba people to do the
Translation.
congregational song.
Okay, congregational song.
Congregational
Oh, ma, you were in the choir?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I was in the choir. I was in the campus choir.
Okay.
Also, this from youth choir,
Okay.
campus, adults, before I came to Lagos. So, when he proposed, I was like, this brother Toyin, as a pastor, because you know him as pastor. In fact, I was crying that day. I was crying that, me, I cannot be the wife of this person or something like that. So I needed time to know how will I go about this thing.
Okay, ma, before you continue, what were your reservations? Was it like you don't want to marry a minister like some?
It's not that you don't want to marry a minister, but the responsibility and all the things that surrounds marrying being a wife of a pastor.
Okay.
That was the main thing. So I was like, I don't know when I'll be able to do this. But when I prayed, the Lord gave me confidence that passage where that Philippians chapter 3 verse, is it 13 or 17? That I can do all things
through Christ
that strengthens me. And also that I think there are some passages in Isaiah that the presence of the Lord will go with you, the Lord will help you. That it's not that you can do it by yourself, but the Lord is going to sustain and going to empower And true to God, I'm saying there's nothing I can say we've been able to do on our own, if not by the grace of God so far.
Okay, so Ma, when did you tell him yes? When did you say yes to his proposal? How long did it take?
I don't know. I can't remember, but I know maybe it's about a month. I think
I think it was a month.
maybe around a month.
okay.
Yeah.
That was the longest.
Just a month, sir.
That 1 month was like 1 decade.
Wow.
Because what's the answer you have been waiting? Tell me yes or no. Let me know.
Oh, sir, you were expecting the answer immediately.
No. Of course,
Okay.
I know I wouldn't get it immediately.
Okay.
But you can bold it, you can brave it before you propose.
Okay.
But the moment you are proposed and you are waiting for the answer, that period is usually intense. You almost be tempted to, should I send her hello? Should I
Just to
break it and let this thing come? Yeah, but
wow. Awesome. I want to come to Mommy, ma. Can we say will of God is one person?
I will not say we can say that particular word that maybe will of God is a particular person.
Okay.
But all the teachings that have been given us in the church, that before you can say, okay, this is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Okay.
Number one, the person must be a believer.
Okay.
That is when you can say, that's even the first thing.
Okay.
If people should come maybe around you, I want to marry you, if the first thing is the person is a believer.
Okay.
If he's not a believer, then it is not, that one is cancelled. He is out of it.
Okay.
And and other things, other factors, okay, before you can say, oh, this is the will of God. So your the flow with the person, do you have rest of mind? Can you say you have peace test, like we usually say? Okay, so those are the things you are going to look at before you can say, but I can't say that it's a particular person. It's not in you, maybe if it's not this brother or if it's not this sister, then it's no more.
Okay.
I cannot find any other person. Okay. So, and there are some things, as a lady growing up, or as a man, a young man growing up, there are some things that you will expect that maybe my wife should have, or my husband, I want this in my husband. And by the time, okay, you are moving with someone and you are seeing those characters in that person, it's likely your things will flow together with you.
Okay.
So
thank you so much,
yes.
I want to ask Daddy the same question. I know he has one or two things to add to it.
the will of God is not one person, but the will of God is in a person. The will of God is not one person, meaning that you cannot say that if it is not Sister Mary, then it can be no other person. That means you are saying that the will of God is in Sister Mary and Sister Mary alone. But you could be wrong, because God is more, he said, my ways are not just my way. He said, my ways are not your ways. So he has more than one way. And so his will is not just in one person for you when it comes to marriage, but his will must be in a person. So, and that is why you see in the Christian faith, when the Bible tells us that if a person dies, a couple, one party dies, he said, let her remarry only in the Lord. Now, if the will of God was one person, then if that one person has died, then there's no more marriage. But if the will of God is in a person, that is to say, the sister can pray for, oh Lord, among these brothers now, who is your will for me now? And you find the will of God in that person. And like my wife said, you see, salvation, clear Christian experience, clear Christian life is an irreducible minimum. You cannot go below that standard. No matter how good, no matter how nice, the person is not clearly born again. It's an irreducible minimum of expectation for who I want to find the will of God.
Thank you so much, sir. So I want us to come to this. You wedded in which year, sir?
2016?
No, 26.
2006.
2006.
June
Wow.
10, 2006.
And then the journey of faith started. Okay. So I want us to come there shortly. But before that, I want us to come to music. What's your kind of music, mommy? Let me come to you. Or what's good music to you?
Music.
What are the kind of music that appeal to you? Your kind of music, your...
Well, definitely, I enjoy listening to Christian music.
Okay, Christian music.
Okay, Christian music, and with good Christian music with good musical background. As
Okay.
in, which should I use now?
Instrumentation.
Instruments,
Okay.
the backup.
Okay.
You know, when you have good instrumentalists.
Okay. Playing alongside singing.
Singing, yeah.
Okay.
I think I enjoy. I don't know.
Okay, do you have any favorite songs, favorite musical artists that you want to mention, man? Or a few persons you listen to?
Well, we enjoy listening to the guitars.
Oh,
Guitars, yeah.
the guitars. Wow.
Yeah,
Is there any of those renditions you enjoy or you want to sing for us, man? Oh, you even said we, so is
we really enjoy listening to. We even have some collections.
Okay. Any of the songs you want to sing for our listeners, man? Together, we don't mind. Anyone.
For the day that will be when my Jesus I shall see. When I look upon his face, the one who saved me by his grace, when he take me by the hand and lead me through the promised land, what a day, glorious day that will be.
Wow. That was beautiful, sir.
Yeah.
What draws you to a song or a music? Is it the lyrics?
The message.
The message.
Songs with a message. And that is why I love the likes of, from the guitars.
Okay.
You have David Ingles. This is my all time.
Wow.
David Ingles, Jimmy Swaggart.
Wow.
These are people whose songs have messages. And of course come to contemporary times, because we have Nigerian musicians too who are doing well. Nathaniel Bassey, Dulcie Oyeko
also.
These are people. When I think of the lyrics of the songs, I'm like, wow, this is deep. So of course with good music, and I love a cappella.
Wow.
I love a cappella.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I say I love, we always induce each other. So we love a cappella and classical music.
Oh.
Classical music. Love classical. We have it.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
So I want us to come to leadership, the subject of Christian leadership. You were a minister. That was where you met mommy.
Yes.
And then you've been in the ministry all through. And then being in the young adult ministry, the campus ministry, we just wanted to talk about it and challenges, the highs, the lows. We just wanted to tell us a bit about it.
So, well, I would say leadership is something that the Lord has been grooming us. And for myself, from the time I got born again in secondary school, I got saved at 16, at the age of 16 in secondary school. It was a boarding house. And we were leaders in the school fellowship at the time. Thank God for those brethren. By the grace of God, a lot of them were still on the front line. Now, So getting to campus, joining, of course, before getting to campus, DLSO as a Home Success Fellowship leader, and then getting to campus, joining DSCF from day one. Of course, in the process, there has been a lot of development that DLCF, that's why I want anybody who loves this church to really pray for Deeper Life Campus Fellowship, that ministry. Because that ministry, the success of that ministry defines the quality of leadership the church will get at the end of the day. And thank God for DSCF. The majority of the missionaries the church has, Nation Overseer, a lot of people like that. Those of them who have had touch with DLCF, you will see it in their ministry.
That's true.
And God has really helped us. So when I decided to, when I finished campus and going for service here, my vision was the youth. So I worked with the youth in the village where I was in Imo State. It was something else.
Wow.
Coming back to campus again to do postgraduate program back in DLCF, and that was when I got into the leadership of the campus ministry. Now I would say, interestingly, I've had opportunity to interact with young people and groom people, some intentionally, some unintentionally, and in fact, will I say that majority unintentionally? Because it is after some time when they are talking, maybe when they are sending forth people or you are meeting them after graduation, they are saying, then they mention my name, I said this, I can't remember when I said what. But the vision has just been that, look, there must be people in the factory that produce leaders for the church. And you must have a very clear vision of why that ministry is critical. And so if you ask me tomorrow, where do you want to still work? I will tell you campus ministry. Because I see that the church needs that arm to be very strong. And the church is passing through a phase that it didn't pass through maybe 30 years ago. Now, children in the church are now young adults.
Yes.
You can't hush them aside like you would do when they were children, and all that. So it's a new phase for like the ministry. And the best people that can really interface, I'm sure the church leadership will be thinking of what to do with this new growing young professionals and young adults and so on. But the interface has to be really between the campus ministry and those and the young professionals and the young adults. Something has to really, the handshake must be very good so that transition can be smooth.
Wow. Thank you so much. Let's come to Mom. I've seen you nurture these young ladies this past years, and then the way you relate to them, like siblings, like sisters. How has it been now? I still have been challenges. Can you just tell us a few about it?
Well, what can I really say? I can't really say maybe there is a particular thing that was done, but all I can say is that one thing I can say is that as a leader, as a worker in the campus fellowship, is my desire and my joy to make sure and to see these people, or to, let's say, to impact the little that I have, if not more, at least the little that one has acquired. Because I remember before getting married, you read some books, and apart from reading books, even the daily the women mirror that we have in the church ministry. In fact, before I got married, I don't miss it. I make sure I get a copy every month and I read it. And most things that, information or a lot of things that I got from there are very helpful for the family, raising the family, and that's all. Wow. I would just want to, give to my fellow sisters that And I see them, like you said, I just try as much as possible to come low, to interact with them, to to identify with maybe whoever or whatever they are passing through at a particular time. So there has been challenges anyway.
Can you tell us one?
Yeah, people that wouldn't want to maybe follow along with maybe the standard, or they feel, oh, I can't, this one is too much for me, or maybe they are little understanding at that particular time. Because I could remember there was a particular sister that was going to get married, and she was like, they are delaying me, the marriage committee, and they're delaying her or something like that. And I was like, see, when it's like, are you going to get married tomorrow? You are not going to get married. Still wait. I remember, my husband proposed maybe in 2004. Before we got married, it was 2006. So it's not something that is going to be immediate. That there are still going to be process. They are going to courtship, you're still going to prepare. So, and I noticed that little thing, the little testimony that I shared with her, calmed her down, and things changed kind of, and eventually she got married last year.
Wow.
And that was that time that she was agitating, that must be maybe before COVID.
Wow.
You understand? So, but the little sharing your own personal experience it helped.
Wow. Thank you so much. So you married, Daddy proposed 2004, you married 2006.
Yes.
I want us to go to this aspect of the conversation, the journey of faith.
Okay.
So before we go to that, I want to just tell you that she said she used to read Women Mirror.
Okay.
That Women Mirror, they have very beautiful pictures of sisters. So whenever my friends, other brothers, we joke, we say that God should go, this Women Mirror sisters. You can see the effect now.
It's obvious.
It's alright. I won't say more than that.
It's obvious.
Keep reading Women Mirror.
Keep reading, Wow.
Okay.
The journey of faith, sir.
Yes.
So from 2006 and then 7, 8, how has it been? What was it like for you, sir?
Well, you tell me to summarize the story of how many years? 15 years. Okay, I will try, but I will say that in our courtship, let me just go straight to this. During the courtship, I remember a particular day we were discussing a courtship discussion, and we were talking about, the topic was about the family.
Okay.
And what is our understanding about what the family is.
Okay.
And I remember that both of us said to each other that our marriage, this is the family, right? Children are blessings that God adds to the family.
Yes.
Okay. The family is established when a man and a woman get married together in unity. So, and we planned how many children we wanted.
Okay.
So, but I don't know whether I was speaking prophetically that day, but I was saying that even if the children delay in coming, that our love, our affection must not be challenged, must not be so, because we are getting married not because of children. We are getting married because we believe that we are meant for each other. I don't know whether you remember any other thing I said along that line, but I remember that very clearly that I said that. So we started the marriage, and then the first few months, of course, well, needless to say, but I got converted at 16. She got converted too as a teenager. And by the grace of God, we had not lived any loose life. So we met each other as babies. So by the time you get into the marriage, and then there's some funny things that happen that I would just skip. But then, I mean, people who have not been sexually exposed before. So we were both amateurs, and we had to. And there's enough time in marriage to learn everything. So you don't need to go and start reading all the sexual books. You don't need it.
There's enough time.
There's enough time. to practice anything, both of you, you will find out. You understand? And so, because that keeps your purity. If you say you want to go and be reading, for example, somebody was asking me a question recently, a brother, that is it good to discuss sexual styles, you know, before you get married? So what do you need that for? You only set yourself up for immorality. So we started, and we were learning, discovering each other, and so on. But 6 months passed, nothing happened. I don't know whether it got up to, it didn't reach 1 year before we started, seeking medical advice and what we are. They say it's not up to 1 year. Why are you hurrying?
Okay.
So 1 year, and so luckily, or whichever, after 1 year, we married 2006 June. By when? September 2000, August 2007, I got a scholarship, a PhD scholarship to China.
Okay.
And God also did it. They gave us visa, so
Fantastic.
we went together. So we've been together. So it's not as if we have been apart. And in China, by the grace of God, as we're doing work, the research work, she also got a scholarship doing her master's. And then we're busy with the missions work with the Chinese people. We decided we're going to really enter their culture and really mingle with them. But while we're doing that, we're also seeking medical attention with all the prayer. Chinese medicine, Orthodox, because they have both in China, and they have very good healthcare. We did that for the 5 years that we were in China. And winter to summer, winter to spring, to summer, to autumn, like that. On and on, year in, year out. When it was almost time to come back to Nigeria, it was like, are we going to come back, just the two of us? And a lot of emotional things have happened. We've tried. I mean, imagine what a knowledgeable person, if we are searching internet, we've read a lot, we've done a lot, we've spent a lot. But those 5 years passed, we came back to Nigeria. So, when we get back to Nigeria, there's better hot prayer in Nigeria for me.
Yes.
So, came to Nigeria, 1 year passed, 2 years passed, 3 years passed, 7 years passed. Now, there were times, the thing I always tell my wife is that I'm surprised that all of this has happened, but I have not queried the choice. There has not been, it has not even occurred. To really query that choice.
Did I make a mistake?
Did I make a mistake? It never came, and it will never come. By the grace of God, God has really, that is one thing that I have seen the grace of God, upholding the marriage, because it's not easy. And then, of course, one other thing is, after you've claimed all the promises of God, and after all the ministers have prayed for you, and after overseers have prayed for your matter, group coordinators have prayed for your matter, prophets have prayed over your matter, all kinds of people have prayed, and nothing, and the situation seems to not change. Then I look, I say, the only thing that is not making me change my conviction or persuasion is that I have not found a promise in Scripture, a word in Scripture that says God will not do this thing. That's the only thing left. Because if I could find somewhere in the Bible that could say that, some of you, God will not answer this particular prayer, and so you have to live with it. I have not found that in Scriptures. So that script, the Word of God has really helped us. It has been the bedrock of the Word through the stress and the storms. And thank God for the support of family, support of brethren. We did IVF like 5 times.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
and that was even the last resort to that, because we were saying we don't want to do it. It took a lot of effort and understanding to understand the place of that particular process. That if God does not even come in, IVF is just as good as dead. Because the doctors will get to a stage, they will tell you, well, we've done to this point. From this point going forward,
It has to be God.
it has to be God. Wow. So what do you do? So if it does not work, it doesn't work. So, and so it's been a long journey, but we thank God that
It's a testimony.
it has come to pass.
Wow, hallelujah. I want to come to mommy. What kept you going all through those years?
Well, I would say, unlike Daddy, that said he did not have any reason to doubt. For me, there are times that I've thought that I hope I did not make a mistake. I hope I'm still in the will of God, or maybe if I had chosen another person, maybe I wouldn't have experienced this. Maybe it would have been another story. But because what he said now, he says it most times, many times. When I hear him saying that, it should just be like, are you saying this? Am I hearing this from you? So it also helped me to say, okay, my husband is not doubting this relationship, so why should I? So, and true to God, we've tried a lot, we tried different things. I passed through a lot because it's on me.
Yes.
Majorly.
Yes.
You go do this test, HSG, some painful process that you have to go through. But I thank God for everything. And talking about prayer, we prayed, go to different prayer section here and there, and even some of our family members, there is somebody here, let's go together, we'll go, and like that. But there's something that helped me along the path. That I just asked one question, because some people will come, spiritual people, you have to be prayerful, people may be doing this and all this stuff. I'll just look at it and I'll say, is the power of Satan more than the power of God? If the power of Satan is no more than the power of God, then I know that there is nothing that can stop the miracle that God will do. That God has more power. I don't know how to put it more than that. So, but that's the main thing that has kept me going. That I just kept holding the hands of God. That if you are God, prove yourself in this family.
Wow.
Like you said, we did IVF in 2016. That was the first time we tried, and yes, eventually it worked.
Okay.
I got pregnant for the first time.
Wow.
In 2016.
Okay.
And we were so happy, excited, carrying the pregnancy up till the 27th week. That was around February.
Like the last day of February.
February stroke March. I delivered the baby. It was a pretend contraption that happened that time. Well, I delivered live baby. Everything. They said they were going to put the baby in the incubator and everything. But unfortunately, the baby lived for maybe like 5 hours or so.
Wow.
And
5 hours.
Wow.
They didn't even tell me that the baby has gone.
And I could not break the news to her. Loot.
Yes. I was still expecting that the baby, because before they took the delivery, the medical people, they explained what they were going to do. So I was expecting that maybe the baby is in the incubator. And what they told me is that, maybe after the delivery, we have to go and be feeding the baby. And so I was like, first day, they did not ask me to come and feed the baby. They did not, I was already feeling somehow. But nobody told me until the delivery was on Monday to Tuesday. until Friday when they wanted to discharge. That was when they now told me that the baby has gone. You know,
Wow.
you can imagine.
Wow.
So
It was a bad experience.
yeah, in fact, I can't stop crying. Those times, I can't. Whenever it will just it's just be coming. But you know, at the end of the day, I just have to pray to God that God give me a new story. You know, give me a new story. I don't want to, because when you think about everything that you have passed through, the thing will just come to just be like. But I pray to God that God, I want a new story. And we started the journey of this one.
Wow.
And it was like the first one because you know what? It's eventually we got a positive
Answer.
pregnancy test again. And you know, because of what has happened, you don't want to put all your hope that. But we thank God. God saw us through.
Wow.
We're counting month after month. I mean, week after week until the baby was 38 weeks.
Wow.
Full-term delivery.
Wow.
So I give all glory to God. It's
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
And God gave us healthy baby. It's very healthy, you can see.
Hello, baby.
Yes.
Wow. He's saying hello to us. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I want to say very quickly for those who don't know that pastors cry. You just see pastor on the pulpit, you see preacher man preaching, encouraging every other person. I remember when this particular, there are some things that happen in your life, you will remember, they are like milestones. When we lost that baby, you know, so you are swinging between two extremes of emotion. We have a baby.
Yes.
And then I remember I was with my elder brother at the car park of Lut. It was around 9 p.m. or 10. So I was like, should we call our in-laws to say that we have got a baby now? But I said, no, they will be sleeping now. Let's wait till the morning. So it was around maybe 12. They just called me, come and draw blood. They tested, took blood, blah, blah, blah. And I saw the baby in the incubator. I mean, the doctors were trying to do some processes because the breathing was not yet very strong. Long story short, I came, when they called me again, all the doctors have scattered. Only the baby was there looking at where she came from. And I was standing in front of the baby. I didn't even know how to pray anymore. I was just standing there. I was just looking. You know, if you were not there, you were like, why don't you just lay your hand and say, come back alive, you know? But honestly, when it was that point, I was just looking, facing the reality. And the doctors just left me to grieve what was happening. I didn't really feel the heat of the emotion at that instant, other than the fact that I just didn't know what to do. After leaving that place, and it was getting to morning, and I called, and I was trying to call my brother. I couldn't finish that call. He knew something had happened. I remember, and I didn't, because she had to be stable. So I didn't want to break the news to her. That was the first thing I will hide from her in all our marriage. That was the first thing. Something will be happening that I should tell her, and I will have to retrieve that truth. Because if I say it, she could lose balance. And so I was kept, baby is okay. It is well. They will call you when they need you. They will the doctors know what they are doing. I come back to the house, I come home, I lock this door, and I'm crying. And then I'm thinking, so am I this attached to this baby? I never knew I was that emotionally attached. And I will cry. Then clean my face, and somebody is knocking at the door. Hello, how are you?
Smile to the person again. Wow.
You know, but thank God for the support of brethren, you know, because you need that emotional support. Thank God that people did not just assume. People came around, prayed with you, and in fact, so we went through that season. it was a low. They say it's always darkest before dawn, right? So that was the lowest ebb, and eventually,
Wow.
Jubel,
Oluwajubel, hallelujah.
That name has been given to, before I got married, before I even proposed, I told them at home that my son will be called Oluwajubel.
Wow.
Yes.
What inspired that, sir?
Now, that I had one person bear that name.
Okay.
On campus.
Okay.
And when I had that name just rang a bell. Oluwajubel. The Lord is more than that. I mean, I don't know which situation you want to throw into that name, that name will not apply. The Lord is more than that.
Wow.
So,
as we wrap up, sir, because we can continue this conversation for, I would just want you to talk to those waiting on God, those in the waiting season of their life, marriage, a child, career progress. What can you say to such people, sir?
You see, waiting is not easy. But the Bible says there's a promise for those who wait. It says those who wait on the Lord shall do what? Shall renew their strength. The best place to be in the place of waiting, the time of waiting, is in His presence. The pressures will want to push you away from His presence. Waiting for that will of God in your life, in marriage, waiting for that dream job, waiting for that breakthrough, and you have prayed, you've claimed all the promises, and it has, just know that it has not happened yet. Don't forget that word, YET. Yet. That word is a very powerful 3-letter word. Where is how are your children? We say fine. Some people never even knew we didn't have any. How are the children? Fine. And then when somebody now asks a direct question, how many children do you have? You see, they have not come yet. So just know that David said, I will yet praise Him. So know that you will yet praise the Lord over that situation that appeared to have delayed. You will yet praise Him. So don't forget to always add, I'm waiting, she has not come yet. The job has not come yet. The baby has not come yet. That means you believe that the baby is coming. Okay, that's very important. And of everything, this is our own journey. Okay, our own journey will not exactly be like other people's journey, but the same principle can apply to everybody. And that principle is that, you see, the Word of God. There's nothing as consoling, as strengthening, as encouraging as the Word. The Word. If you read what medical science says, you will get confused. You may even get afraid. But if you dwell on the promises, there's going to be hope. It builds hope, knowing that God will do it. Then also for those who are waiting in the waiting time, know that medical science does not contradict scriptures. It only complements. Okay? It only complements what promises God has made. And so don't think that that baby must come after a prayer of a man of God. It's not always like that.
Without action.
Without action. There are some things that your own case may just be some medical support, some injections that you just need at a particular time to jump over your hurdle. Just knowing that God ultimately will be the one to perform that miracle. So allow healthcare, the medical process, let them do their thing. Don't run away from it and think you are faithless if you are going through the medical route. It took a long time for us to jump that home in the mind. And it's the mind. Yes, it's in the mind. To jump down home. And then it's after we jump down home, then we began to understand that really life itself is not the cells, the sperm cells or the egg that forms the life. you may have that successfully, but if God does not establish it and cause it to grow, nothing happens.
I remember, sorry to cut you. I remember one of the embryologists.
Yeah.
She said she would have loved to. There is a particular 2 weeks that is very critical. That they with all their knowledge, everything, they don't know what is happening at that time. That's where the work of God is. She said she would have loved to see what is happening at that time, but they don't have that power. After they've done their own and they put it, you have to wait for that 2 weeks. So it is that 2 weeks, that 2 weeks that really make the difference. And that is when you can say, okay, I'm pregnant or I'm not pregnant. So God, there is nothing we can, we can't do away, we can't cut away the work of God or the parts of God in the whole process. But at the same time, if you have the opportunity or if you have the resources, it's not bad to go through the medical part.
Wow, it's been a very great session. We wish this session can continue, but we just have to wrap up now. We just need parting words from you. Students on break now, has to strike. It's almost like a waiting period for some people to, what can you say, sir, during this period?
So, make the most of this period because you are going to account for it. You did not cause the ASU strike. You are a victim of circumstance, as it were. But the way life operates, you will be the one to account for this sign. Now, if in future, when you get a job opportunity and they tell you, write what you have been doing from so time to so time, you cannot say there was ASU strike, so we were not in school. They will drop you. They say this one does not know. So, but if you can say during that time, I developed my skills, my photography skills, my creative writing skills. I was able to do internship here and there. I developed myself in data science, in AI. I was able to, these are the things you should build during this period, because it will turn out that what you learn at this time may eventually become your meal ticket and not necessarily the degree that you're going to do in school. Okay, the degree is just to convince yourself that yes, you can compete in an academic space. But the skill that you learn for yourself is what brings food to your table at the end of the day. So I want to challenge all our young people who are affected by this situation that never get idle. And again, as a child of God, if you rest, you will rust. If you rest, you will rust. If you are on campus where everybody's busy, you are committed, now you are in a place where nobody's really going to push you, nobody's really demanding anything of you, and then you rest. You will rust. So get yourself engaged spiritually. Just get busy. Don't be idle. That's what I want to really encourage us. Let's be hopeful. God will open better doors.
Amen. Any parting words from mommy as we wrap up?
Well, according to all the things that we have discussed, coming from ministry to family, so I just want to encourage, especially people that are waiting on God for the fruit of the womb, that they should not give up. They should not give up, because the Bible has said that none shall be barren in the land. That's the word of God. I remember going through this. These are part of the promises I held on to. I am still holding on to. That none shall be barren in the land. But the word of God says, nothing shall cast your young. So all these words, let them, as many people that are waiting on God for one thing or the other, especially the baby, that they should hold on to the word of God. And I know that the Lord will come through. Amen. He has come through for us. He will come through for each and every one that are also waiting on God.
Amen. Thank you so much, sirs. Thank you, Ma, for this privilege. Out of your busy schedule, creating this time for us. We really do appreciate you, sir. Hello, Oluwajubelo.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's such an honor to spend time to also listen to our story.
Yes.
And I want to really appreciate your initiative and the vision. And I pray that the Lord will expand this work.
Amen. Thank you so much, sir. And to all our friends and listeners, it's been a very great episode with the Popoolas. I'm sure you enjoyed this episode. Till we come your way again, God bless you and bye for now.